Well, good morning. This is Hero again. We're working on this red pine. Either a small niwaki or a very large bonsai. As always, before we get started, let's go ahead and spin this so you can see what it looks like before we get started. I used to have dozens and dozens of red pines in all sizes. This is one of the few that I could still move. I got some big ones, but I can't move it in place without using the tractor, and I have no way of spinning those. Anyway, so this is what we're going to be working on today. I said before, basically these are same as black, except they're easier because if you make a mistake, they actually will back bud. Versus on the black, you better not make a mistake because sometimes, or a lot of times, it will not back bud. That's why they consider the black as the ultimate test of your ability. Also, in the Japanese garden, they consider the red being the feminine. And so a lot of times we'll put both the black and the red representing the husband and wife or something like that. Emperor, empress. So, yeah, not much to it, especially at this state. We just got to make sure we open it up so we could get sunlight in and keep it healthy in the next growth season. We're in the tail end of October. It's finally starting to cool down around here. That one was something that I should have taken care of sooner. Well, you know, you heard all my excuses anyway, so I'll just keep going without explaining. Same as the black, make sure that you keep everything well balanced. They tend to want to grow top heavy, so make sure you keep these vigorous one in check and the secondary or the weaker one to survive and thrive, right? So we always, on the pines, we always talk about the balance energy. You know, no matter how hard you try, sometimes you just get so busy, can't get to everything. Then in that case, take care of the top. Because they tend to be top growers, and by neglecting the pruning of the top, it could get things worse. So if you're in a jam, then go ahead and thin out the top or at least remove the center candle. Okay, this one here, we got a problem. Some more of, if Hero had kept up with it, it won't be a problem. I could either cut it here, but it's still got this big, okay, you see this right here? Long, well, it would be so much nicer if it was greenery down here. Well, if we cut the tips off, there is a good likelihood that it could pop along here. If it was a black, I would say, no, you're stuck with it. So that's one of the main difference between the red and the black. Red is more forgiving. Now that we're done with our summer heat, hopefully, I'll go ahead and trim these so that this will stay tight and compact and get even light distribution. So nothing magical around here. It's just routine pruning. Yeah. You know, like I was saying, I used to have a lot of reds, and I was wondering if I ever going to sell out. Well, I don't know. Everything happened in spurts. It seems like, oh, just about anything. Things happen in spurts or popularity. I think for some reason, last couple years, people started asking me about the red pine. So I sold them. Now I'm out of the red pine and the bonsai and both Niwaki too in terms of the affordables. I have big ones. I was saying that I do have big red pines, but they're so large that I would have to use the tractor, and then there's no way I could spin it for you. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it this year, but if we do, I'll have to bring the camera out in the field and then move the camera because I can't spin the tree. But you know, the inventory reduction that I've been doing for the last 10 years plus, I think, ever since Kai was born, and he already turned 11, so I guess I started about 10 years ago. I realized that, hey, you know, I had over 10,000 plants, and I thought it was a good idea to have a good inventory, but then I wasn't able to do anything. Especially taking family trips. That's one of my biggest pleasures, is to be able to go with Kai, Mia, and the family. Well, so that's what I'm trying to do, is to reduce my inventory, get out of this live plant nursery business, and then do something else that I could put away when I want to get away. So, well, I think it's working. I'm closer to 2,000 than I was closer to 3, I think. Well, I don't know. It's hard to count that much. Hopefully, when my grandkids, Kai and Mia, are here, they will help me count. Well, 11 and 9, they should be able to do it. Now Kai, he's a smart one. He'll negotiate how much do I get paid first, which is fine. I'd rather have smart kids than, you know, not smart ones. But it's kind of fun to negotiate with him. One time, he kind of talked my wife into agreeing, and we figured out that he was getting close to 60 or 70 bucks an hour at the rate he was charging. Well, it's okay. I paid him, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's a good thing I have smart kids here. It did cost me, but hey, it's for the grandkids. I don't care. This branch is bothering me. I think it was a sacrifice branch, but I'm not sure whether I want to take the whole thing off. But see, this part is going up. And if I don't take care of it, it'll start to jam in here and disrupt the development of this branch, which is a keeper. So I think I'm going to bring my saw and cut it so I could get it flatter, or go ahead and remove the whole thing. So this was here, and I took it off. It's a little bit better. I wonder if I should go down even deeper, because it's still coming up. Although, yeah, I think it's better if I do cut it. Okay, I like it. It will not hinder with the development of this branch right here, right? So I'm going to touch up a little bit more, and I'm going to call this good. Well, I think I'm going to call this good. It'll come back again, and then we'll prune it again. And each time it gets better and better. Let's check our roof flare. It has a great roof flare, and it has great movement and taper. The apex could use a little bit more refinement in the future, but other than that, we're in pretty good shape. I believe this is closer to 40 years than 30, somewhere in that neighborhood. So this has been the red pine, Japanese red pine, which is basically the same technique as your black, except that it is more forgiving. So if you make some minor mistakes, the red will come back. Versus on the black, there's a good possibility that it will not. So as we look at the ground, and it seems like there's more foliage on the ground than on the tree, but this is the technique that we use in the fall, at least around here, and when it's very hot in the summer. That's why I always have to keep my pines very bushy through the hot summer months, versus those of you that are in cooler climate. You could do this any time of the year. So anyway, this is Harold saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. Thank you, and see you again.